In a twist that feels straight out of a political thriller, whispers on Capitol Hill hint that Donald Trump is under pressure to let Puerto Rico stand on its own, an action said to save U.S. taxpayers about $617.8 billion. The idea, buzzing like a secret shared over a midnight coffee, has already raised more than a few eyebrows. What could be behind such a bold move? Behind closed doors, at least 2 congressional offices now hold a 7-page draft designed like an executive order, outlining a detailed blueprint to help the island shift from territory to true independence. Insiders reveal that this document, heavy with potential and controversy, has passed through the hands of key congressional figures. Could this be the spark that ignites a sweeping change? Sources close to the matter say that not only do 2 members of Congress have copies, but the plan has also made its way to high-ranking officials including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Representative Tom McClintock, Republican California, with whispers that other cabinet members might be in the loop. The air in those corridors is thick with anticipation. What will happen when this paper sees the light of day? Staffers from the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee, which oversees matters tied to U.S. territories like Puerto Rico, along with aides for Representative Tom Keene, Republican New Jersey, have already met or lined up discussions about the draft. Even as committee members choose silence when asked for comments, the tension builds. Could this be the start of a major policy shift? The draft, it seems, was not the handiwork of the White House itself but was cobbled together by a congressional office and leaders pushing for Puerto Rican secession. Yet its aim is unmistakable, to nudge the federal government into letting the island break free from its current ties. The script is set. The question remains, will the White House be forced to act on this challenge? While the document is buzzing around, Trump himself hasn't declared a desire to lose a U.S. territory, and the White House appears either unaware of or unmoved by the draft. The silence from the top only adds a layer of mystery to this unfolding drama. Is there more beneath the surface than meets the eye? According to the draft, the grand design is to recast Puerto Rico as a sovereign and independent nation, severing its financial and security links with the U.S. Copies of this proposed order have started circulating in several Capitol Hill offices, each copy carrying the promise of a new beginning. What price must be paid for freedom, and who will pay it? Despite inquiries, spokespeople for figures like Gabbard and McClintock have kept quiet, and details on McClintock's role remain murky. Even a field rep for Keene knows about the paper, yet no one can say exactly how his team might be involved. In this shadowy game of political chess, every move is scrutinized. What will be the next play? The draft is cleverly crafted to look like an official executive order. It even leaves a space for Donald J. Trump to sign his name, complete with a March 2025 date where the day is mysteriously left blank. The presentation is as bold as it is ambiguous, leaving readers to wonder, is this a genuine call to action or a piece of political theater? Amid a slew of Trump sweeping shakeups, cutting thousands of jobs, slashing billions in contracts, and even dismantling entire agencies, the proposal aims to trim the extra costs of the U.S. budget spent on the island. This move, painted against a backdrop of rapid reforms, is designed to cut waste and reset priorities. Could it be the ultimate budget makeover? At the same time, this plan arrives while Trump faces fierce criticism for his push to declare English as the official language of the U.S., a move that many see as insensitive to Puerto Rico's mostly Spanish-speaking community. The timing couldn't be more charged, and the question lingers, how will the island's residents react to yet another shift in policy? If ever put into action, the order would kick off a 21-month countdown to end birthright citizenship for those born on the island. From January 1, 2027, onward, babies born in Puerto Rico would not automatically become U.S. citizens, though those born before the cutoff would keep their rights. A dramatic deadline that raises a host of questions about identity and belonging. Can a community truly redefine itself overnight? This plan results in $617.8 billion in savings for the U.S. while providing Puerto Rico with the necessary resources for economic self-sufficiency, the draft boldly states. The promise of billions saved rings out like a siren call, yet it leaves us to wonder, at what cost to the people of Puerto Rico? The document further warns that Washington could end up spending an eye-watering $1.37 trillion over the next 50 years to support Puerto Rico, along with an extra $8.6 billion earmarked for disaster relief. These numbers loom large, painting a picture of long-term fiscal commitments and raising the stakes for every decision made. How will these vast sums reshape the island's future? Should the proposal gain traction, a plan is set to launch a Puerto Rico transition fund that would dish out $36 billion annually for 20 years to smooth the island's road to independence. Over 2 decades, this fund would aim to guide Puerto Rico toward a new era of self-governance. Is this a lifeline or just another layer in the political drama? This plan results in $617.8 billion in savings for the U.S. while providing Puerto Rico with the necessary resources for economic self-sufficiency, the draft reiterates, echoing its central promise like a refrain in a complex song of change. The repetition only deepens the mystery. Can these savings truly translate into a brighter future? In a recent turn of events, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem made her first trip to the island as part of Trump's cabinet, promising to lend a hand as Puerto Rico struggles to rebuild from devastating hurricanes and ongoing power outages. Her visit was filled with the sounds of recovery and the hope of rebuilding, a promise amid the storm. But will her words hold up under pressure? FEMA has long been in the spotlight, pouring funds into rebuilding after Hurricane Maria struck as a powerful Category 4 storm in September 2017. Still, Puerto Rico's governor, Jennifer Gonzalez, insists that $18 billion meant for mending the power grid remains unreleased. Amid these conflicting reports, one can't help but ask, when will relief finally reach those in need? Central to the proposal is the creation of an Executive Transition Commission, ETC, set to steer Puerto Rico's change from a U.S. territory to an independent nation. The commission is envisioned to work as a key part of the White House staff, coordinating closely with Congress on laws and steps needed for this major shift. Can one commission hold the keys to a nation's destiny? The draft spells out that the ETC will have an administrator chosen by the president, tasked with overseeing every administrative, legislative, and financial detail needed to guide Puerto Rico's orderly transition. Although the name of the future administrator is left blank, the document makes it clear, only a Puerto Rican national, living on the island and not tied to its current government, can take on this crucial role. Who will step into this uncharted position?
Meanwhile, a growing divide stirs on the island itself. On one side, voices clamoring for complete separation from U.S. rule grow louder. On the other, many Puerto Ricans favor statehood as a way to secure more rights and benefits. In nearly every recent election, the question of statehood has dominated the ballots, leaving a community at a crossroads. What future will the people choose? A non-binding vote in 2024 revealed that 58% of islanders lean toward statehood, while only 11% support full independence. Despite the rising chatter about secession, the numbers suggest that most still see value in staying connected with the mainland. Yet, with a single signature, could Trump tip the balance? In the end, it seems the pen might be mightier than the ballot. The draft boldly claims, rather than perpetuating indefinite territorial dependence, this approach eliminates wasteful spending, establishes a clear exit strategy, and redirects federal resources toward national priorities and domestic programs. It adds, this solution ensures Puerto Rico's successful transition to sovereignty while upholding an America First policy. With such firm words, the paper sets a dramatic stage for what could be a turning point in U.S. policy. Gabriela Buffelli, the executive director of the Puerto Rico Federal Affairs Administration, has fired back in a statement insisting there is no evidence of any secret plot to force Puerto Rico's independence. Any insinuation about a secret plan is completely false and only diverts attention from the real issues of our status, she said. The rebuttal leaves us pondering, are these claims just political noise, or is there more truth hiding in plain sight? Adding another layer to the unfolding saga, Juan Dalmau, the Secretary General of the Puerto Rico Independence Party, described the report as an interesting development. He urged that if decolonization were to happen, it should be through a truly democratic process, a call that resonates with many on the island. As the debate deepens, one must ask, can democracy truly steer the course of history? And in a final twist, during a rally at Madison Square Garden in October, comedian Tony Hinchcliffe cracked a controversial joke, dubbing Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. His remark, meant to be humorous, was seized upon by political opponents as a rallying cry to mobilize Hispanic voters against Trump. The joke lingers in the air like a provocative challenge. What will be the lasting impact of such words? Each of these moments, layered with suspense and raw emotion, leaves us on the edge of our seats. As new developments emerge, the story of Puerto Rico's future continues to unfold like a dramatic novel, one page at a time.